What have I become? What has become to me? If you look into the internet too long, you become the internet. I have decided that I want to reboot my philosophy show, right? And every day I wake up and I'm like, get up there, you're a philosopher, make your videos. And every time I try to lay something out and do it, I overthink it. I turn it into something that I didn't want this to be. I wanted this to be very authentic, me talking to people, helping them use philosophy, understanding, principles and stuff to let me adjust this microphone upward so I sit up straight and people can take me take me seriously instead of being an ogre that slouches into my mic here. Let's go. I'm going to be watching a video here, and I need to be taken seriously. Okay, this is a very serious discussion. I don't want to do politics. I don't want to get into politics. I wouldn't say that I'm I wouldn't say I'm pro politics. No, I'm not anti politics. I'm just pro liberty and pro philosophy. And politics wants you to pick a side and dig in. And life is much more nuanced than that. You want to validate concepts and stuff and understand what's going on. But I'm turning on my feed today and people are showing this Sydney Sweeney interview with GQ, right? And I mean, I forgot all about GQ. I mean, when I was a kid, young whippersnapper, we used to walk uphill in the snow both ways to get a GQ magazine. And I thought it was dudes in tuxedos. Like, if you ask my brain to explain to you what GQ was, I was like, it's a magazine that has dudes in tuxedos on the cover. But I guess it now is a TV thing or a video platform too, where a woman that kind of looks like, I don't want to make jokes. But she does have kind of a Jim Carrey, internet troll cartoon face. But I don't want to poison the well here, and I don't want to poke fun at people's looks. But when certain facial expressions or whatever do seem contrived to me. So if somebody's going to purposely do certain expressions with their face and be public with them, I do think it's okay to break that apart. Whereas if you're going out in public and recording somebody who has a tic or something, then I don't think that's okay, if that makes sense. But anyways, I want to go over here. Now, bear with me. It's my first recording back, but I haven't seen this full thing yet. But as I watched some clips on this, I was like, are you really is this the video that you're going to welcome yourself back to the philosophy world? What has become of my life? Really, what has become of my life that I'm going to break down the philosophical aspects and the intricacies of the Sydney Sweeney Speaks on the American Eagle ad and her body transformation. And I mean, the thing is 19 minutes long. I'm already starting to feel the anxiety here, and I don't want to become a reactionary. I don't want to become somebody who reacts to videos. But I thought this was I thought from the clips that I've seen, Sydney Sweeney, women that are watching this, right? Women that are on that are outside of the feminist box, let's just say, right? That aren't 100% in line with the narrative, that want to be successful in a community, are probably watching this more than men, and just like they're like, because from what I've seen, she really navigates herself very well within the situation where she's in her interview and recognizes that this is a trap, that everything that they're setting up here is an emotional trap. You know, this is like, when I was watching the clips from this, I was just thinking Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Mean Girls, and this is basically the subtext of like females talking to one another. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying that it's evil. I'm saying that this is a, basically with a guy, you go into a ring, right? And you fight one another, mano and mano, fist to fist. And like, there's fights and battles and whatever. Women are in these emotional, social things where they're trying to socially elevate themselves or socially destroy one another with like manipulation and tricks and so this whole time, and I'll start getting into it a little bit here because I'm already too deep. How many minutes am I recording here? I don't even know where to get my record time. Where's my record time? I'm 6 minutes in of a 20-minute video. So I'm probably going to fast forward through some of these parts, but I want to get some little parts here just to show you this. So let's get this started. Actually, let's do this in, let's do this in premium, and let's do this in a little bit faster speed here. So, okay, without further ado, and I hate when people say that, or I dislike it. Let's go.
But you're a 13-year-old girl. Like, what does fighting give you at that time in your life?
The element of surprise.
Ooh.
I have not seen this yet.
Great shoes too, Kat.
I know.
Thanks.
We pulled through in the shoe game.
Strong shoe game.
I usually show up in my PJs. For whatever reason, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just actually get dressed.
Ugh.
And then everyone liked the outfit. I was like, wow, this is the first time.
I'm so flattered. Okay, so we're good? Okay, well, we're going.
We're going.
Okay, I feel really lucky to be talking to you right now in particular because you're a producer with a film with festival buzz. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to have Christy out in the world?
Not to be catty. I'm not trying to be catty here, but I mean, I can already see right from the beginning, right? This is like a women are gonna hate this. Women are gonna hate this, and guys are gonna be. The simps are gonna hate this. But so there's alphas and betas in the female community too, for lack of a better word. But right off the bat here, whether it's true or false, like, so they start off with the flattery of each other's clothes and stuff, but right off the bat, the interviewer is showing some, maybe it's false so that Sydney lets her guard down, but she's showing submissiveness. So watch this really quickly, how she'll lower her shoulders and her eyes as Sydney Sweeney is sitting up straight or whatever.
So flattered. Okay, so we're good? Okay, well, we're going.
We're going.
Okay, I feel really lucky to be talking to you right now in particular because you're a producer with a film with festival buzz. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to have Christy out in the world?
That, I mean, it's subtle and maybe you don't realize it, but Sydney's head is way up. Her shoulders are up like this. And the other girl is like, she's basically doing this, like eyes down, shoulders down, eyes down, shoulders down when she talks. And then she's doing that like Joker's face. Now, this is probably a manipulation tactic. Like, I'm falsely showing submission to you so that we're friends. You're in power here. Just relax, go with the flow type stuff. But I don't think that somebody as attractive as Sydney Sweeney has made herself to be in Hollywood is going to fall for these types of shenanigans. And I'm not trying to mean girl this up or whatever. I just, this is, to me, is just when I watch stuff like this is how I'm dissecting it. I'm like, okay, we've got the start of this conversation here. they always kind of build up the stars. They're talking about their clothes. They're getting a rapport or whatever. They sit down, but this woman here on the left, whether it's a manipulation tactic or not, is giving the power of the conversation over to Sydney right in the beginning.
Christy is one of those projects and stories that, like, when you're making it, the crew, the cast, everyone involved, we all knew it was going to be something special. We had Christy with us on set many days. We would sometimes just like cry because of how powerful the story is. And so being able to share that experience with the world and to be able to show Christy.
So I want to mention this. And you know, I'm not a body language expert, but you can still pay attention to like people. Where is it here? Let's do it again.
And so being able to share
right
that
there. So as we look at this scene, right? They're together. And what you can see here is the woman in the green sweater, and I'm sorry that I don't know her name, has her, she's actually wearing, those are nice jeans that she's wearing. She has nice jeans. She has her legs crossed, and I always wondered, like, I don't sit with my legs crossed, right? And they're like man spreading, and this used to be a thing, right? And they always want you to cross your legs. And you see the Gavin Newsoms and the Adam Friedlands and a lot of these guys that are like, you know, David Letterman's and the Johnny Carsons had their legs spread under the table, so it wasn't a thing, right? But these new interviewers, when it's out in the open like this, have their legs crossed. And why this is such a social thing for a lot of people that are emotional is because this is a friendly setup right now. When you don't cross your legs and it's open, it feels violently to emotional people. Crossing your knee towards somebody like this is a sign of like, we're mirroring one another. We're together. I'm trying to be your friend right now. If a guy was in here, like Gavin Newsom and Adam Friedland, some other people that crossed their legs that I can't think of, they would, it's a sign of the collective to cross your legs so that they're towards one another. Okay. It's just a social etiquette that I don't do. You know what I mean? I mean, they would probably just label me as autistic because I'm outside of the boundaries. But for me, comfort's important, and I would sit with my legs uncrossed and open. Best case scenario, you'll find my legs out straight in front of me, and I'll cross them. And I'm not thinking of it consciously, but they will notice. Some people will notice it like this. And if you're across away from them, it probably does mean subconsciously you're not into what's going on. But recognize this body language right here, which is at this point, legs crossed towards one another. So maybe they are friends and maybe she's not out to get her. So anyways.
Experience with the world and to be able to show Christy's story to the world is so impactful, and I'm beyond honored and proud that we were able to bring the story to life.
In the beginning, it's also really fun. For context, like, you've got headgear on,
yes.
You've got a mouth guard in,
yes.
And you are grinning as you punch people, and you look completely unself-conscious and completely joyful. First of all, was it as much fun as it looked?
It was
so the head down and she talks, shoulders up, head down, shoulders up, very submissive. Giving Sydney the power. I'm ignoring kind of what they're talking about, but then you can also hear she's got that, it used to be kind of like a Valley Girl Western affectation, but now it's kind of like a, if you don't want to dye your hair a particular color, if you don't want to get tattoos, if you don't want to get a nose ring, and you still want to show camaraderie to the individuals that are in the world of this collective, you talk like this and everything's a question at the end. And when I think like this, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not picking on them. These are like, this is a way when you go out and to navigate the world that people are they're trying to fit in. They're trying to signal to one another that they're safe or they're in a particular group. And what I'm noticing here is This woman is doing the question mark up and the question mark up. And what she's mimicking Sydney's sitting style. I think she's waiting to see if Sydney's on her team, and Sydney will start doing the up and let's ask each other question type. And it's okay. And I'm shy and I'm submissive. So that's what I'm hearing so far. Again, like, I guess I sound like, I'm being a catty little bitch right here, but I'm trying to explain to you how you can watch these situations without just listening to the words and taking everything on surface value. Watch this is people interacting in a battle. You know what I mean? This is a gene war. Jeans and Genes.
So much fun. I was over the moon. I felt like I finally came to life myself through Christy. We really shaped every single fight to match Christy's fights. And so all the different combos that you see me doing are the actual...
I will say, just to objectify both these women really quickly, I really like how they did both of the makeup. Very calm, very subtle. They both look very nice here. The interviewer is probably feeling, subconsciously or consciously a little insecure because everybody hypes Sydney Sweeney as this, gorgeous, like bodily, she does nudes and stuff like this, pinnacle of beauty right now. And she's next to her. I personally, not to like, eat me up in the comments, I think she's holding her own. I think that they both look really good, and I'm not like looking at them and being like, look at this ugly hag. I'm like, oh, here's two very sweet, kind women entering a conversation to one another, and they both have quite a bit of makeup on because they're on camera, but it's very subtle, attempting to be natural makeup. And I just want to say something positive about that.
Combos from the fights, and I had the best girls to box with because they were down to actually fight. And we would do full contact. We were punching each other in the face. And so a lot of those reactions are me as Christy, but also me just like couldn't believe that I actually did it just then.
So you have a background in martial arts?
I do.
Okay, so tell me about that. You're what, 13?
Yeah, I was like 12, 13, and I started kickboxing and grappling. And I trained at Gokor Hayastan with Sensei Jean LaBelle and Benny Lajette and Gokor. And I did that from 12, 13 years old until I was about 19. And then I booked Handmaid's Tale and Euphoria, and I was like, oh, I can't fight and film at the same time because I'd come home with bruises. So I put it to the side, but I always wanted to find a story that would be...
I mean, maybe I'm just being picky here.
Tale and Euphoria, and I was like, oh, I can't fight. And
so this face to me, I think she's thinking to herself, I do not give a fuck. I cannot wait. I have some questions that I want to get to, because I'm going to try to destroy you. I want to be the GQ lady that destroys you. You shall be destroyed, Missy. All right, hold on. Let me get the soundboard here.
Sydney Sweeney, I shall destroy you. I am GQ.
I kind of get a feeling that that's what's going through her head right now. It could just be boredom, but she doesn't. To me, this is. I'm gonna listen. I asked the question. I don't really care. I have something big and better in mind. I'm maybe I'm just projecting, okay, but I don't think she gives a frig about these answers. I think she's waiting for bombs. She wants a sound clip, and she's gonna get it.
Film at the same time because I'd come home with bruises. So I put it to the side, but I always wanted to find a story that would be able to bring that side of myself out.
But you're a 13-year-old girl. Like, what does fighting give you at that time in your life?
The element of surprise. Ooh. I was the only girl there. So it was a lot of talk of, oh, what is she doing here? The dads are kind of a little like upset that their sons would be fighting a girl. And then I would sometimes win.
Okay, so
I will say Sydney's an actress, and this woman's interviewing an actress. They're very calm. She's doing a really good job. Her eyes now are up into the right. So she is actually accessing her creative part of the mind and thinking. And so she is actually in the conversation with Sydney at this time. So maybe I was a little bit too harsh with her. It is all lights on you, all cameras. They're being filmed, and they're being kind back and forth, trying to build a little rapport for the audience. But in the end of the day, they are both actors and actresses to some extent. So, okay, maybe I was a little harsh with the monster, the monster voice. Tell me in the comments, ladies and gentlemen.
I have the sense that you're someone who keeps a strong division between your characters and your personal self. And I just wondered if that is harder when you've done this physical transformation for a character like Christy. Like, you come home or come back to your hotel room, like, in her body in some ways.
I actually learned so much more about myself throughout the process. And I am someone who, I build my book for my character, and I learn everything about her life so that I can fully jump in and out. And throughout that process of building Christy and working with Christy and filming the movie, I started realizing, I was like, oh wow, I actually have more in common with her than I realized. She is fighting a fight in her home life, and she's also fighting a fight in the public. And I think that for me, I find myself in a lot of battles, both in front and not in front of the world.
I couldn't speed this up any faster.
Just a story about domestic violence and specifically like homophobia and domestic violence. And The Housemaid, which I also saw, takes on domestic violence from a totally different genre. And then I did read that your American Eagle collection benefited a domestic violence charity. Did I have all that right?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. We're American Eagle charity. So she opens it up with a very softball question.
Okay. You spent a lot of time this year working around that issue, and I just wondered if it meant something to you.
It does. I always speak out about something that is important to me. And for me to speak out, I use art. And I think that through...
Okay, so I will say I have listened to some clips online before I went to watch this, but this is my first time watching it through. This is a little foreshadowing here to the clip that they take out of content. Sydney says right here, let's rewind that again here.
I will always speak out about something that is important to me.
I will always speak out about something that is important to me. Okay. This is, well, that's look at this freeze frame of Sydney right now. Not great. The internet's gonna run with that. But she says, I always speak out about something that's important to me. So this is foreshadowing to what something she's about to say in a little bit while later when she asks her about a question and she says, I think that if there's a topic that's important to me, I'll talk about it. But okay, let's continue.
And for me to speak out, I use art. And I think that through my characters in my movies, it's a way for me to be able to do my part that I can and spread awareness in different ways through my characters. And that's how I've always learned to communicate. And it's really important.
If I look at your IMDb page,
Okay.
I'm thinking about, you're on Euphoria, which is a show that covers a lot of topics without, taking a moral stance on any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you did Reality, which I love, which brought a lot of attention and humanity to the story of Reality Winner, the whistleblower. It does not look like a very political career, but you have become very swept up in politics. And so I wondered if that has surprised you as you put your ideas and yourself into art, not commentary.
So this is really well done. I will say that the interviewer knows exactly what she's doing here. Sydney now, this face is like, to me, this is the face of her saying, oh, okay, I get where we are at now. She went from friendly, we're talking, we're buddies. The question leads her a little bit towards the ad, then her sponsorship. So Sydney's like, oh, okay, we should talking about the sponsorship. Now she's turned the sponsorship American Eagle thing into a political question. And this right here looks like the face of a person that's like, oh, we're going to do this, are we? Let's do this. She looks a little bit like, okay, I mean, if we want to do Mean Girls, she's like, I've done this before. I could be just reading into it, but to me, I think when people are sitting there and they think that they're being friendly with one another and then they can start to see. And I mean, I really respect this. I listen to NPR and they will escalate these questions that make you calm and relaxed. And as they do it, they go higher and higher. And if you don't recognize it, you can start giving friendly questions to an enemy, basically. Friendly answers to an enemy that's asking questions.
I've always believed that I'm not here to tell people what to think. I'm just here to kind of open their eyes to different ideas. And so I think that's why.
Now, I will say at this point, if you see, they are still friendly. She's listening to her here. They're looking each other in the eyes. They still got their body language together. So they're not being combative at this point. I guess it is just an open question where she's just asking her and they both still feel comfortable and they're not attacking one another.
I'm just here to kind of open their eyes to different ideas. And so I think that's why I gravitate towards characters and stories that are complicated and are maybe morally questionable, and characters that are on the page hard to like, but then you find the humanity underneath them. And that's what I've always leaned towards.
I think a lot of people feel like it's better for art if artists can keep themselves a little bit separate from politics.
Yeah, I've never talked about my personal life.
I know. So what I'm going to do is talk about your year as a phenomenon in the culture, okay? And a big thing that happened to you this year is that you ended your engagement, and I got push notifications about it. And we all sort of looked up and were like, oh, Sydney Sweeney isn't just a talented actress and a becoming producer. She's someone that people are really obsessed with and really fascinated by.
Oh, yeah.
I know. And I wondered, did your sense of your own fame change this year?
No. I surround myself with a really, really strong group of people who have been in my life since I was little. And they take me out of Hollywood, take me out of this bubble, and remind me what the real world is, and that's why I exist. The idea of fame, it doesn't apply to my personal life. I'm just said.
You can't feel the difference in the volume at times.
If I turn on my phone, yes. If I have my phone off, I'm home. No.
Right. Okay. So what is it like now being single? Are you single? I'm single. Okay, you're single. You are out there now as a person who has a lot of power, I would say. A person who people are obsessed with, and someone who, like, I was like, really focused on their work. So I wonder, how does that change what you're looking for?
I don't think I'm looking for a man right now. What I've learned this year is that I have a really, really amazing group of girlfriends, and I am strong and independent, and that I'm going to be okay. If love finds me, love finds me. I'm hopeless romantic, so I hope love finds me. But I'm not the type of person that wants to go all the time. And I do believe in true love and want to be with someone the rest of my life. So I'm not going to, you won't see me jumping around love like this.
Wait, jumping around what piece is it?
So I'm sorry. That's a good freeze frame though. Like, it just gives me Jim Carrey. The face looks like the troll right now, right? I mean, is that Adderall jaw? I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to make fun of this woman, but this is not, to me, this is not normal way that, like, people, like, look, she's got the shoulders out and she's got the jaw going. You can't see my jaw. It looks like the internet troll meme, whatever. But anyways, she turned up the heat on the politics. Sydney dodged it. So she came back to a question about the relationship and stuff. And then Sydney's like, well, I don't talk about my relationships. But now it's back to like, hey, girlfriend, I got the notification on my phone because I follow you. Like, I'm hip on Sydney Sweeney. Whether or not she got the notification, well, she's pretty much trying to say, like, I'm a fan. I follow you. I got the notification on my phone that you, whatever. But it could just be like somebody on Instagram posted it and that's the notification or whatever. But this, I mean, freeze frame this, make a clip. I mean, I'm not trying to make fun of this lady, but objectively, does this not look like the troll meme face or whatever with the teeth? It's the jaw movement of somebody who's on Adderall, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm probably wrong. And again, I'm not trying to, like, whatever, but this is, she looks devious here. She doesn't look like somebody that's looking at the person that they're interviewing thinking, I want good things for you. Right? I mean, maybe she does. But if this person was looking at you with this facial structure, right, and this movement, would you think to yourself, wow, this person has got my best interest in mind? It kind of looks like a little, I don't know. It looks devious to me.
Like that. Okay, so you are making Anyone But You, and there's sort of, we call it a game almost, with sort of letting rumors build about you and Glenn, and we all know that was a projection, let's say, on our parts. That wasn't real. But it occurred to me that maybe that story doesn't go so viral if you're not a very private person. I imagine there are personal benefits to being private personally, but also professional benefits to being private personally.
The professional benefits for me and being private is for my own just health and sanity. If I let everybody know all the time, I'm nothing for myself. And I am just a 27-year-old, 20 now, 27 yesterday.
Thank you.
But I'm just a 20-year-old woman trying to figure it out. And I'm still learning, and I'm going to make mistakes, I'm going to grow. And I think that it's important to be able to do that without having to say every single thing all the time.
Right. Okay, but you're never tempted
So
to just, like,
I am noticing, so this must have been recorded a while ago. I'm just noticing this now because, sorry, I'm gonna
open your notes out.
let's do that. I don't want to freeze frame and make them look like whatever when you're freeze framing it or whatever. So this is a good picture of Sydney. Her hair's still long here, and she's since cut her hair short. I was just thinking about that. So this must have been in the can and recorded months ago and just released now. So this is old news. Am I getting old news here? Yeah, so this was released 3 days ago, but this had to be recorded a while back because didn't Sydney have that short hair thing recently that went viral. So, anyways.
And say, this is what I really think. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to like stop guessing and predicting.
I'm open to my girlfriends, but other than that, no.
No. Okay. That's actually really like,
I know who I am.
Right.
I know what I value. I know that I'm a kind person. I know that I love a lot. And I know that I'm just excited to see what happens next. And so I don't really let other people define who I am.
we're talking around this Mockery lab right now. And
I'm not going to even address, that's a whole different video. I don't want to get into beautiful women with options calling off engagements here, but it is kind of crazy that this, I mean, she's in Hollywood and stuff, and who knows what happened, but it is kind of crazy for young girls to see her call off an engagement or whatever. And now I saw this morning, and this came out kind of right at the right time. She's with Justin Bieber's old producer and the guy that stole all the money from, that owns all the old Taylor Swift songs or whatever. So this is, maybe they released it. I don't know. We won't get into that.
we should talk about it. So, response by reaction.
I did jeans. I mean, the reaction definitely was a surprise, but it was, I love jeans. I wear jeans. When I do the
Okay,
t-shirt.
so this is where I want to get to. This is what I was looking for. So let me slow this down.
We're sort of talking around this American Eagle ad right now, and maybe we should just talk about it.
So they weren't talking around this American Eagle ad right now. That was like 3 questions ago, right? So that's very telling that she started it off like that, because she's basically saying, I want to ask you about the ad, but I'm waiting for you to loosen up before I ask you this question, because she asked 1 question about it.
So, were you surprised by the reaction?
I did a jean ad.
Sydney takes a second to think. She says it, and then this is her face, basically like, okay, it's time to play. She's going to give me short answers, and she's going to shut down, and I got to get the clip here.
I mean, the reaction.
And then her face is the next question, like, come on, give me more than that. And so Sydney's like, okay, we'll play this game. But Sydney she's looking up and to the left, right? Let me see, up and to the left. So if she's looking up to the left, she actually has thought about this before. If she's looking up to the left, up and to the right, she's coming up with stuff. So she's acting right now. Good for her. So she has planned that she was going to get attacked, and she's thought about this in the past, and she's accessing her plans.
Action definitely was a surprise, but it was, I love jeans. All I wear are jeans. I'm literally in jeans and a t-shirt like every day of my life.
Jeans are uncontroversial. Jeans are awesome.
Yeah, I like your jeans.
You look great in your jeans. I think I know how you're going to answer this, but I'm going to ask anyway. I mean, the president tweeted about the jeans ad, or Truth Socialed about the jeans ad, and that just seems to me like a very crazy moment for anyone. And I wondered.
Okay, so this is really good priming here. Okay, this is what I wanted to kind of get into, and not all women are like this. Not all people are like this, and it is an interview environment, so she's trying to be a GQ journalist here. She's priming right now, and she's doing a really good job of it. I don't think Sydney's going to fall for it. I know that she doesn't, because I've watched this clip already. But the excitement that's getting into her face right now is very telling. But she's priming her, saying, like, what are the exact words? I think I know how you're going to answer. Meaning, like, don't worry, don't overthink it. We all know the answer, right? And then, but I'm going to ask it anyways. He tweeted about you. It just seems to me it's a very crazy moment for anybody. Like, don't worry about it. If you think it's crazy, just say your crazy things. Anybody would feel. She's basically saying, like, I would feel like that. The audience would feel like that, whatever. But what she's actually trying to do is back Sydney into a corner where they take it out of content and then make it sound like Sydney's the only one that would say this. All right. And I don't think Sydney's going to fall for it. I know she doesn't.
Moment for anyone. And I wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
It was surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be totally human.
So here we go again. It would be totally human. I would probably feel like that, right? So now she's saying, look, this would be totally human. I would probably even feel like this if I was in your shoes. But, and again, I don't want to pause it when, like, I'm not trying to make fun of these pauses. It was so real. She's like, it would be totally human. I would probably feel in this particular way if this happened to me. So she's priming it again to make her feel relaxed, to say, just say it. Just say the line I need you to say for the clip, baby. Can I get it out of her? And spoiler alert, she's not going to get it out of her.
It was surreal. Mm-hmm. And it would be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody had my back in public, you know, and conveniently some very powerful people had my back in public. And I wondered if you felt that way.
So now she's looking off in the distance. She's thinking again. So she did pause for a second to think about her response, which is good. But this is set up. You know what I mean? This is set up. She's like, look, the president tweeted about it. If I was in the situation, I would want powerful people. I think we can all feel that way. Just say it. Here we go.
Just say it, Sydney. You know you want to say it. Align yourself with Trump so I can get my clip.
And again, maybe she's not thinking that, but I got a feeling that this is a setup here.
I don't think that it's not that feeling didn't.
Ooh. Okay. Now, this question is political, right? And this question is, I would feel this way with this, but look at the body language change. So Sydney has her knee towards her still. She's closed Sydney off. She has now switched legs. Right now, it could be a discomfort thing. She might have had her legs crossed for so long, so she decided to switch him to the other side. But remember, I brought this up earlier. They're crossed towards one another. We're together. I'm reflecting you. Let's mirroring you. Now she's away from her. So as soon as these political questions have come out, where it's starting to get a little bit hard when she's like trying to attack her and get that clip, those legs are crossed away from her. You're going to call me crazy. I know you're going to call me crazy, but there's going to be women in the comments. There's going to be people that understand this, that are going to start seeing the world a little bit better like this, right? You can do this in your everyday life too, but like when you're watching a video like this, right? And you're thinking, oh, these are two people sitting down. These are not two people sitting down, right? Men get into a boxing ring and fight one another, or get into a debate thing with suits and scream at each other. This is two females battling each other for social placement. It doesn't look violent, but this is a gene war right here, okay? This is a gene war, GENES war. Between battling female factions.
I wasn't thinking of it like that, or like of any of it. I kind of just put my phone away. I was filming every day. I'm filming Euphoria, so I'm working like.
Very good answer. Basically, Sydney, if you missed that, said, I wasn't even thinking about the president. Why would I think about that? I have my own life. I'm working 16 hours a day without my phone on Euphoria.
16-hour days, and
it's crazy. I mean, maybe this is a smile of got it. She literally turned a got you question into an advertisement for the show that she's on called Euphoria. I mean, this is probably why she's becoming rich and famous and getting new gigs, is they tried to get her with a got you question and she turned it into a plug for her TV show. It's like, you know what? Good on her.
I don't really bring my phone on set, so I work and then I go home and I go to sleep. So I don't really see a lot of it.
You've made a really good case for keeping your thoughts and your life separate from that work. But the risk is that, there's a chance that somebody will get some idea about what you think.
Now, remember, like I said, the battle is on now. The legs are She's turned away from Sydney. Sydney's still alpha in her. Now her demeanor has also changed. She's perked up a little bit. She's not doing a little shy forehead. She doesn't have the forehead wrinkles, the little shy, shoulders down, submissive. She's up. She's ready. She's ready to do a social battle here now. This is a change in her personality. She's crossed her leg away. She's up. She's ready to come in.
About certain issues and feel like I don't want to see Christy because of that. Like, do you worry about that?
No. If somebody
Okay, maybe not. She went back to a little bit submissive when she's listening to the question. But she basically asked her, like, are you worried that your political views are going to, like, make other people think a certain way? And it's like, hey, lady, beat it. Right? I'm just trying to be myself and do these things. You keep trying to pull me into politics, I guess.
something they read online to a powerful story like Christy, then I hope that.
And then again,
I hope something else can open their eyes.
She
to
does a
being
really
open
good
to art.
job. She brings it back to an advertisement for the movie that she's going to be in. So.
And being open to learning, and I'm not going to be affected by that.
Yeah, you can like.
All right, I can't do any more of this. So if there's any more of this, then good on her. I just want to say, when you're watching videos like this, right? When you're watching interactions between two individuals like this, right? And I'm not trying to turn this into like a cat fight or whatever. I'm trying to turn this into an understanding that we are just bipedal apes, right? We're just evolved animals that still have these same type of social structures in our life. And we don't recognize that. You know, we like to pretend that we're no longer evolving, or we've evolved past that, or we're civilized or whatever. There is gene wars going on every day, and some of them look like bombs and fights and invasions and stuff, and other ones look like this. It's social pressure and attacks or whatever. So let me know what you think in the comments. I don't know if I'm going to do videos like this anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do for videos, but today I just tuned on. I said I need to make content, and this is it. So check out the link. Follow me on everything. I got a link tree here for subscribe or whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, take it easy.